It's your boy Jase for real, and you're watching Side B TV. You heard me?
Hey, what's going on? This is Phil Jackson, host of Side B TV, being brought to you on the Boombox Union channel. Please go back and hit that like and subscribe button. Shout out to all the artists that I've done interviews with, man. Look, it's just been a blessing because just talking with your favorite artists about music is a blessing. And I just put up the one interview with Thomas Overton and Darnell Regustus, and that interview was crazy. Please go out and check out their new movie One Gun that's out on Tubi right now. That was a phenomenal interview that I did, and I just got off the phone with Porter Rich, and we're going to talk to Slick and Porter Rich and Shaquille, and their movie is out now on Tubi also, called Sons of Sin, and we I had them on before, but we're gonna get back on because I really went back and studied the film, and I watched it maybe like twice, and I have a whole bunch of other questions. So with that being said, shout out to my man Rob Schwartz out there. Me and Rob, we go back, 10, 15, 16 years. Who Mag TV. He's came up to the radio show, Side B Radio in Princeton, New Jersey. Now, I'm on Splash 98.5 FM under the boardwalk every Saturday, 10 p.m. to 11 p.m. playing hip hop. And this is all Rob Schwartz, man. And Rob said, "Yo, Phil, I got an artist that I want you to interview because he's just been doing it so big for so many years." And when he told me, I was like, "What?" So I seen them back in 90 something. I can't even remember. But this group made waves back in the 90s when it was the golden era, what was our underground golden era of hip hop, and they just stuck true to their roots of just singing. And I have the lead singer up here, and he was so young, and he's still so young right now, which is absolutely crazy. We're going to talk about his journey in the music industry, and he has new projects out. So I want to say what's going on to my man Jase
What's
from So
going
For
on,
Real,
family?
man. What's going on, man?
What's going on, Phil? How you
Oh
doing,
man, you
baby?
know what? I appreciate you coming on, man. We talked behind the
Thank
scenes,
you.
and I just want to congratulate you on everything that you've done in
Oh,
this
thank you.
music, and you and your brothers, because I mean, it was so incredible of what you guys did, back then, especially in that climate of hip hop. But um, just coming from New York, you wine dance, New York, correct?
Yep, Wanda Wheatley Heights, stand up.
Now, how was that? Just growing up, and because I know we're gonna talk about Soul for Real, but I just want to talk about just growing up in your neighborhood, with your brothers, man. So like, how was that experience, and was that like the first taste, or were you, hey, I wanted to start singing, and like how did that all start back then?
Okay, so that was kind of two questions. I'm gonna start with the first one when you said
Okay.
how was growing up in my hood. Like, shout out again to Wanda Wheatley Heights, Long Island,
Yes.
big Long Island things. Everybody from the town, shout out. It was, if you know, it's kind of suburbish
Hmm.
in Long Island, you know what I'm saying? But however, um, there's hoods everywhere. So, being that my parents had the house in Wheatley Heights, pops would send my brothers to the store right around the corner, and you go a couple blocks and you'll be in the dance. So that's kind of more hood. Um, how it was growing up there was it's a dope place. I had a dope upbringing because I got parents from the West Indies. They're Trini, you know what I'm saying? We
Okay.
Trini. So, tight knit family, last of many, the tribe, this is a little tribe we had. I'm the last of eight. Pops is strict, mom's was strict too, but not like Pops. And we had Graham, rest in peace, Graham. We had a good upbringing in Long Island. If you know, you know.
Right.
My Long Islanders. But don't let the suburbanness fool you. You know, it cross the line, it gets hood. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
So
right.
that's the best way I could really um explain it. We got to, I got to ride my bike. I got to go outside in the yard and be a kid a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Until we got signed and started doing big things, and the world was my playground after that.
That's what's up. Now, um, before you got signed, was it always an aspiration of you and your brothers to be in the entertainment business, being singers and actually forming a group?
So how we formed the group, because we had left. I think when we lost the house and moved to um, Florida, Jacksonville,
Mm,
Florida for a few
okay,
years, and was down on hard times or whatnot. Kind of broke the family up a little bit, you know what I'm
okay.
saying? But we was still tight knit. And my brother, Chalk, he was. I think that we told the story. If you dig up, you might be able to find other interviews where we explain this, but I'll try to keep it in
Yeah.
a nutshell. Um, my brother was always aspired to Chalk, lead singer of Every Little Thing I Do.
Hmm.
He always aspired to do this music thing. I didn't really know back then, that I could really sing good.
Hmm.
So I was singing since I was young, like maybe, four, five, maybe younger than that, they say. But once we moved, uh, my brother stayed, Chalk stayed, and he was always pursuing music,
Okay.
with his crew. And we down in Jacksonville when we were there, my brothers, we used to always practice singing and playing around, fucking having, excuse my language, having
No, no, it's cool.
competitions and stuff. Um, and yeah, my brother Bry, he like just reached out, just wrote my brother a letter saying that we should start a group. And I think that was the first like thing that kind of initiated the idea of us working together as a group. But that it would only happen a few years later when we moved back to
Okay.
Long Island. So
Uh,
once
what,
we
what
moved back to Long
what year was
Island,
that? What year was
oof,
that when
I
you
think
moved
that
back?
was like 80, 89, 90, something
Okay.
like that, 91 or something like that. So it took us a couple of years to get the deal from then, and took, but yeah, to my foggy record, we found a manager. His name, shout out to David Turner,
Okay.
um, who was working at the same McDonald's my brother was working at. He got him to represent us, and he took us around, kind of helped us develop. And yeah, one thing led to another. We met Heavy D's brother at a talent show thing in Mount Vernon. That one thing led to another, brought us to Have brought us to Dre. We actually, fun fact, we was on the same stage as Garth Brooks
Mm.
when we got signed to Uptown MCA. So yeah.
No, that's what's up, man. So how I always like to ask artists this about your record deal when you got signed. How was that actual was it a fair record deal? If you can remember back then, because I've heard so many stories from so many artists that some deals were good, some deals were bad. So like how was So
Yeah,
For Real's record deal, first record deal? I'm sorry.
um, I'm gonna first say, mm, you know, when a contract is being extended,
Mhm.
it's usually not in your favor, if the
Okay.
receiver's favor. You know what I'm saying? You gotta know a little business to know to negotiate and yada yada yada. But I just want to say no, the deal wasn't as good as it could have been.
Hmm.
Um, but um, I guess I could say the world still knows Candy Rain and So For Real, so it did what it was supposed to do. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So, but no, it wasn't that good of a deal.
Oh, okay. So, rest in peace to Heavy D, because he
360.
is. He 360. Okay, so
Hmm.
rest in peace to Heavy D because he is so
Yeah,
responsible for so many
R.I.P. Big
careers.
bro.
And yeah, man. So like, how was it working with Heavy D, man? Because that had to be like you're working with a superstar, and he's teaching you everything about the music business and going into the studio and everything. So like, how was it working with Heavy D, man?
It was it was great, honestly. Like you said, um, we was already fans of him listening to Blue Funk album and things
Mm,
prior to that. Um, so to get to know him as a brother and a friend, a person was absolutely cool. It's the coolest thing in the world, goddamn, at the time.
mhm.
Um, Shout outs to him and his family. Rest in peace, have.
Nah, that's what's up. Now, when did you guys start first working on the album, and how long did it take for the debut album to be complete?
I think it took us a couple of months to do the album. We did the album really fast.
Okay.
It took us a few months to do the album, if I'm not mistaken. And what else? What was the initial
No,
question that she
no,
said?
just saying like how was that whole process? 'Cause you said it took like maybe like a
Oh,
year to
yeah,
to yeah.
it took us a few months to finish the album. That process, I learned a lot. Of course, it was the first time being in a major studio. We worked at soundtrack studios and Hit Factory and stuff like that. Very real informational. Like like it taught me a lot. Being able to see the work ethics of track masters, those associated. Um, it was a lot. It was fun as hell. Because getting to know, just being in that new space. And yeah, we had a lot of fun with it, being as young as we was. Yeah, it was really a fun process, to
So
be honest.
did they already know right off the bat that you were going to be the lead singer?
Yeah, they put me there, being the youngest. Yep, they had that
Did you want
um had that cut out from
that? Mhm.
early. Originally, before we got signed, we would display each with whatever we were singing. We would sing a cappella a lot and sing my brother's songs that he wrote, and it displayed each lead. Like we all took a lead for certain songs. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Or in a song, but you know how things go. When you get signed to a label, they change the the form a little bit. So
Absolutely.
gave us the haircuts and switched our
Yo, you know what?
image with the
The, the, cra-
styles.
the crazy thing, not to cut you off,
Good.
that is the one signature. That's just my personal opinion. You
Hmm.
guys haircuts. That was the signature for me.
Back then, that
Yeah, it
hairstyle was
was.
cool.
It
That
was.
hairstyle was cool. They somebody made a joke later years later on down the line. You know how the internet is.
Hmm.
Said I thought that shit was so funny. They said we look like a pack of Craig Max because of the hairstyle. That shit killed me.
What was that called? The Brooklyn?
I don't know what it was
I
called.
can't. I can't remember. I can't remember.
I didn't like it at first, but
You didn't
it
like
grew
it?
it not at first. It grew on me though.
So the record
It all
company.
it,
So
it
how?
all
Oh,
grew on
okay,
me.
okay. How before So For Real came? Like how was the group style?
Before that, it's
Yeah.
a little bit more rugged, a little bit more street. Niggas had
Mm.
braids and twists and dreads and shit. Yeah, and it was a little bit more rough edge. They cleaned us up, a lot.
So on the debut album, Candy Ray, who were the main writers for the whole album?
For the the album Candy Rain, Terry from Terry and Monica. Um, it was other names on there. I would have to look at the insert. Remember they used to have the inserts and
Yep.
shit. But
Oh, I used to love that. Yep.
a few names that slip my mind my memory right now
Okay.
was involved, but that could be for you guys to do. Like go check it out
Right.
who did it. But one of the main producers have track masters, um writers, Terry. There were other writers too. We worked with a few people. I'm missing a few names, but
Okay.
yeah.
Now, was that when you turned the project in,
hmm
and they were, picking out singles, was that the first single that they were going to lead off with was Candy Rain?
I would kind of recall um that time like when I guess they were trying to figure out what the single was gonna be.
Mhm.
And I definitely didn't think it was gonna be Candy Rain because we
Really?
had finished the album already by that time. But yeah, they picked the Candy Rain for the first single, and that was not my favorite song. I thought the first single would be the one that was the second single, which
Mhm.
was Every Little Thing I Do, or one of those other ones. Kenny Green wrote on that album
Okay.
from Intro.
Okay.
Yeah, I thought that was gonna be one
Oh,
of the,
that's a
the
heavy.
I thought that was gonna be first
Yeah.
single. I definitely didn't think it was gonna be Candy Rain though.
Really? Did you
Mm-mm.
like the song?
Not I did, but not as much as certain other ones.
Oh, okay. That's what that nah, that's what's up. So, I'm gonna tell you, like, my first experience when I first heard it on the radio, you know, of course we gravitated to it because it had the Tribe Called Quest sample in it. And we were like,
Yeah,
okay, okay,
yeah, yeah.
wait
That
a
was
minute.
genius.
Yeah,
That
we
was
was like,
genius.
oh, wait a minute. That caught our eye because the climate of hip hop was, like you said, the climate of hip hop back then was 92, and it
hmm
was rough and rugged. New York,
Yeah.
New York, East Coast.
That
Yeah, yeah. It
that
was
boy was
East
crazy,
Coast
going crazy.
all the way. I mean,
What's his name?
92, who
Pete Rock. Pete
P
Rock
Rock
was
the CL
CL.
Smooth. Oof. Look, let me tell
Shut
you
up.
something, man. 92, I'm showing my age. I was I was 21. So
Nice.
it was a great era for me, man. Just and to be honest, yeah, there were some R&B groups out, but it was no. And you know what? And I want to talk about this too because I don't really consider you guys a boy band. That was not. That was not.
Yeah,
You
nah.
guys were
Mm,
just an
They
R&B
tried to
group.
make us a boy band and make us kind of
Mm,
apple pie, but that's like, you can't really. You could take us, you could switch the clothes up and all of that, but we still was from where we was from.
right.
So.
But the thing about it was, there were a couple of R&B groups out, but you guys stood out because number one, you guys were so young and you were all brothers, man. And
Yeah,
that's my next question. How was it working on an album and having success with your brothers? I can only imagine that feeling, having that type of success with your own flesh and blood brothers.
that was the greatest. Actually, it's still great to be able to work with your brothers. That the 10 crack commandments say, like money and blood don't mix. But that was definitely a blessing to me. Um, yeah, it was dope. It's always been dope to be working with my brothers like that.
That's what's
When
up.
sometimes when you coming into your own, things things change. What do they call it? When you uh when you grow and
Uh,
things. It was
progress.
another word I was looking for, but
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
it was is the change happens. You got to be coming to your own. you kind of grow apart or do different things.
Mhm.
Yeah.
How was that whole feeling? Because you know, Candy Rain took off, and how was that whole feeling that hearing? Okay, this is the next question. Where were you when you first heard it on the radio? Because you had to be on the radio back then. So
Yeah,
like,
definitely.
and where were you when you heard your single, and how did that make you feel? Because as a 15-year-old, I
Yeah,
mean, it's
yeah,
like the world is yours at that point.
yeah. It was I was running through the house, running up and down the halls the first
Mhm.
time I heard that shit on the radio. Like, oh my God, they playing it, and I remember beating on the walls and stuff. And I remember phone calls coming in, and that's when we still had house phones and stuff.
With the long cords going to the other room, right?
With the long cord, the stupid long joint.
Yep.
Mhm.
Nah, that's what's up. So, um, my next question is how supportive were your parents? Because you mentioned them in the beginning of the interview. Like, how important is that to have that 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 family support, especially coming from your parents?
Well, whether they're blood or whether they're any other type of family, it's a blessing to have the support and the moral support or just someone there. Even if they don't know what's going on, but like my parents, they weren't really educated about music business.
Mhm.
So, but I had my brothers as well. So yeah, I was good. I was kind of protected the whole way through.
Hey, you know what? Real quick, shout out your brothers, man. Like give out the
Yeah, word
names and
up.
yeah. Shout out
Shout
your
outs
brothers.
to Chuck. Shout out to Chuck, Bry, and Dre. Y'all go check out their Instagrams, man. They still here.
Now,
I mean,
now I know that you're still doing music. Now, I did read that they're really not doing the music thing too much, but you guys are still in high demand though. So like I know you guys still go out and perform, correct? Well, I know that for a fact because I just saw you in May. But we'll talk about that in a little bit. But how is that still performing with your brothers 30 years later?
I want to kick them in their shins and freaking fucking booby trap shit because they not understanding we got to break new records and shit. You know what I'm
Right,
saying? Mm. No, I'm just that's just light work, but that's kind of serious too. You
right.
know what I'm saying? But yeah, it's fun. It's fun times. It's just like it always been. There's nothing like it. The
Mhm.
interaction together and yeah, it's the shit. Like I wouldn't have it any other way. Except for just play this new record, rather be, and all these
That's
new
enough. We can
records
get
we got. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
we're gonna get into that too.
Yeah,
How was it?
run
Like
run it up.
the first promo run because you had to do a promo run before you went on. Like it was like a promo run was really like a mini tour.
Hmm.
Like, how was that promo run? Because I mean, now it's just not like you guys are not going to the East Coast. You're going down south. You're going Midwest. You're going out west. I mean, so like, how was that first promo run? And who did you guys go out with? Did you guys go out by yourselves?
Yeah, it was a movie. I think they put on the promotional tour. I remember doing dates with other artists. I remember doing dates um by herself. But it was a serious like serious campaign. 50 states, um, all the drops at a million drops a day and shit. Like this, it was ridiculous. It was definitely work. That's when the work part kind of kicked in for me. When you're young and you having late nights and go from and you're doing grown man shit at a
Mhm.
young age, and you start to feel the work.
Well, with your portion of the check that you got before your first check, what did you go out and purchase? I always like to ask that
Um,
because I just
I
want to
didn't.
get
I
in the
didn't.
mind of the
I
artist.
was. I was. That was before I turned 18, so I wasn't really purchasing anything. I got me a little dirt bike. was riding around the hood. You know what I mean? Got me a little car and shit when before I turned 18.
Okay.
I didn't get much.
Oh, that's what's up. So,
Yeah. Got the crib
hmm
for the fam. We was supposed to get a whole nother crib and shit.
oh,
But
okay.
you know, shit happens.
Now, I did read, well, not read, but I did see a previous interview that at 15 they had to pull because what were the ages at that time? You were the youngest at 15, and who was the oldest?
Chuck, Chuck was the oldest. He was 19, 20.
Okay, so he was already out of school. So the other one, so your other brothers, they were still in school. So you had to be homeschooled. So like, it
They were
was
like
just
transitioning out of school
okay, okay,
by the time we got on. You know what I'm saying? By the time we had dropped that Candy Rain single, I don't think they was I think they had already graduated. I think
okay. So you
Bry might have been still in school for a year or two, but I think I remember him having a tutor for a little bit too, but I don't know.
now
Mm.
how was all that? Just and what did your parents think about that? Just they had to take the youngest out of school because you were the baby of the family, so they had to take you out of school and being homeschooled and tutored on the roads. Like, so were they like I don't know about this, but
At
but
first,
overall it worked.
at first, the moms was mad skeptical to let her baby go, but everybody else was kind of done jumped off the porch already. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, she was skeptical at first, but once she saw the magnitude
Mhm.
and got my oldest brother Chalk's word that he would look out for me as like a guardian type shit, she kind of let her guard down, and we was able to do the thing.
That's what's up.
Hmm.
Now Candy Rain is out. Is doing crazy numbers. It's everywhere on the radio. The video is, we actually, that's when videos really matter. I mean, videos still matter now,
Hmm.
but
Hmm.
it
But
really made a major impact back then. Now they see like because at first we were like, they all look the same because we saw pictures of you like in Source magazine and Vibe and all this. They are, but then we found they're all brothers, and then when we actually saw the video, we were like, yo, they're really on to something now.
yeah,
All that's happening now. Your first tour. What year was your first tour, and who did you go out on tour with?
I don't remember that.
Mm,
That's I don't remember the first tour. I do know we did a lot of things though. We did. They had us working, so like that's a lot to remember right there. This
yeah.
We worked with this. I remember doing a gig with at Prince's Club one time in Miami somewhere with 702. I remember
Okay.
being in Cali with with uh Tommy Hilfiger and a bunch of other people. Everybody was there. Like they had us in everything. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, I don't I really it's a foggy, jumbled up. We was with everybody though. Mm.
But wh-
I remember meeting Jada Pinkett back then.
okay,
She she had an attitude. That was
that's crazy. So, cause like you said, you guys traveled all over the world. What was the one favorite city that you guys? Well, what was the one favorite city that you love going to, and that you love
I
performing?
think one of the most memorable times what city was Baltimore because it was crazy when we was leaving it like we couldn't drive out because of how many people were surrounding the car and all that shit.
Okay.
It's pandemonium. Hmm. Yeah, I think Baltimore was one of the crazy ones. I pointed at this young lady that she fell out. It scared the mess out of me. Yeah, yeah, I would never forget that.
Did
Mm.
did you guys know the impact that you were having on the music industry at that point, or or you guys were just
I don't
going through
think
the
so. I
motions?
don't think at the time I didn't have the no, the magnitude of where how we the reach and how many
Mhm.
people we were reaching. I don't think back then I knew, but like I would say by the time I was 18, it started to kind of
Kick in,
make sense. Yeah, it makes
right?
sense. Mm,
Who gave you the best advice about the music industry, and what
Um,
was that advice?
somebody said, it's not about what you got, it's about what you save. There's a few things, you know. Um, it might have been George Harrell might have said that, or
Okay,
maybe um, there's a couple of cats. Jimmy might have said that. I don't
okay.
remember who said it, but yeah, there was little hints being dropped and little jewels back then. I think the thing that would be the most would have the most impression on me about that would be just the whole experience, like the whole overall experience
Okay.
up until we got our release or before we got dropped from Uptown.
So I,
When we
I want
became free agents, I
right.
think that's things started to really kick in for me, and
So
you know,
my next question is, because you just mentioned, I was going to lead up to that. You guys, what year were you dropped from Uptown Records? Because and why were you dropped from Uptown Records?
um, I think I think there's multiple reasons. Like I don't like to think because I
Mhm.
like facts. You know what I'm saying? But like I think it's a whole bunch of reasons why things went the way that they went. Um, but I don't want to really say it because say nothing because
Right.
like there is the production behind that type of stuff, and
Yeah.
I just want the movie. I just want the movie to be finished being made.
That's what's up. That's what's up.
Mhm.
So you guys were free agents. So what was the next move, or did you like? Did you guys feel as though, well, this might be it? We had a good run, and this might be it. So,
Definitely. I didn't
okay,
know what we was gonna do. At that time, I was thinking I was like 18, 19. So, um, it actually wasn't. It was a nervous time. It was a nervous time, but it was also a time to kind of it's a good time because that's the beginning of being independent.
okay.
So, and your independence is everything.
And then you
Yeah.
moved on, and and what was the other label that you signed with, and who did you work with? And this was the second album, correct? That
We
on
worked with
Warlock?
Diddy on we worked with Diddy on the second album. We worked
Oh,
with a bunch of people on the second album. Burrell Brothers, Diddy, um, few other names, Lil Foggy. Shout out to everybody
so my
who
question,
had a hand in all our shit.
and this was the second album, correct? And so,
Yeah, that was the second album.
and you know,
For life, I think. Yep, for life.
did he, like, everything that he was involved with, music
Hmm.
wise?
Hmm.
We're only talking music. I'm not talking about all that other stuff.
Right.
Music wise, everything
Excuse me.
was top 10 hits.
Yeah,
So
he was
what was
he was
like? What was
the
that
goat.
experience being in the studio with Diddy?
So yeah, so I didn't even see him.
Mm,
We worked with him through like we wasn't in the studio with him. They put it all together. We came in, put our shit down. We didn't really work like that with
okay.
Diddy. Hmm.
Now, what was the ideal like? Because now you guys were free agents back then, before you got signed to the second deal, to the
Hmm.
second label. What was your ideal? What was like everybody's agreement on? We should try to go to this label. So, was there a particular label that you guys were really eyeing on going to?
No, I can't say there was. I know that we went to a lot of the labels and sang for a lot of other labels. I think we touched up with Flavor Unit. We touched up at RCA. We touched up in between too. Far and in between, like through the whole shit. We was singing for we was going in all the labels singing for perform.
Do you think also because just the shelf life of groups, especially really young artists, like they knew that you guys had a hit back. You know, you had Candy Rain
Hmm.
and every little thing. But do you think that they were like, well, you guys are a little bit older now. How are we going to package you guys? Do you think that kind of played into it? Why people were kind of like labels kind of skeptical, like I don't know if we could sign these guys or not because
You
we,
mean you mean after the you mean in like 97?
yeah.
I mean you mean like 98? Like on the when on the decline you talking about?
I wouldn't even call it a decline because like it was just and to be honest, bro, like y'all, like this
It's
is just my
waves. I call it decline because there's
right,
waves, even though
right.
like I wouldn't change anything. I would do everything the same. But I'm talking about like so yeah, I felt anybody would feel you know, like damn, you know, which is a decline
I
in,
feel you. I feel you.
you know what I'm saying? So um I just had to kind of learn, myself and hone my craft, which is what we did. Which is what I did after at that time. It took a few years. Took by the time like by 2010, I was doing us. Things had transpired to where I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna just do this shit. I'm gonna do
That's
my
what's up.
solo shit and started putting out solo shit.
So like, was that a hard decision on your part to break away from your brothers, or you want to bring your brothers along with you
Nah, it
on this
it
journey?
never really was. It never really was or is because they're my brothers.
Mhm.
I can't. They'll always be my brothers no matter what. Mhm.
How was that support like when like okay, were you now you're going from a group to a solo
Hmm.
artist? So was there did you have like were you nervous like just being out there on your own, or you like, you know what, I can do this?
No, I wasn't nervous. I've I've been pretty confident. Just our run, made me pretty confident and being on stage. That's one of the fun parts to me of my work, my career. So
That's what I meant to ask you too. I want to be in the mind of an artist.
mhm.
How is it just
Pause.
going up on stage in front of thousands of people? You know, is that comfort? Like there's no fear. You just because like okay, I'm gonna give you
It's
one.
it's it's nerves. I wouldn't
Right.
say fear though. It's
It's
always
nerves.
like it's a little. It's like I wouldn't say fear. It's different. It's a different. If you're not nervous a little bit, something's wrong. You know what I'm
Okay,
saying? Like,
that's I always
but
said that too.
but like, I mean, once I get out there, it's the energy, and the energy that we share that was reciprocated from oneself to the crowd, and yeah, it's church, baby. It's church.
I saw you guys um probably 92, 93, probably 92.
Yeah.
In Madison Square Garden.
Mm-hmm.
and on the bill was, it was a Hot 97 event, and it was So For Real, Naughty by Nature, Notorious Big with Junior Mafia, and Wu Tang
Wow.
closed out the whole show. The reason that Wu Tang closed out the whole show, because they had 100 dudes backstage and they wouldn't let them in. It was the dopest. And me and my brother, me and my younger brother, but shout out to my brother here. He always
I
talks
don't
about,
remember that. I don't remember
yeah,
that show because
bro,
like anytime
it was crazy.
Madison Square Garden pops into my head, I think of Summer Jam.
Mm.
But I know we did. I know we did Madison Square Garden more than once. So,
How was
but
that feel?
unfortunately I don't remember.
How was that feeling doing the show in your hometown in New York City? How was that?
Man, it's not enough. It's not something we did enough of. It's
Really?
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Not something we did enough of.
Now, let's talk about the second album. The second album came out. Um, Now you're like, maybe, we should, do other things or whatever. So, was there ever a time that you guys stopped doing music and just like try to live quote unquote regular lives? Because that's hard. I can only imagine how hard that.
No, well, within it, I never really stopped to messing with music, but of course, you gotta you gotta get a job,
Mhm.
nigga got a job here and there, but it's not like let me quit music to go. Nah. Once I got my career, there was nothing else for me to do.
That's what's up.
Like music is my thing.
Now, I want to ask you a question because I saw an interview. This is not your interview, but I'm just online. Just I watch everything online. Because that's how you learn about certain things online. Especially just like the type of field that I'm in. I try to watch everything. And my next question is like the one guy was talking about being relevant, and I feel as though that they feel like the younger groups or the younger generation
Hmm.
feel as though that if you're not seen, then you're not relevant. So I want to get your thoughts on that because you can still be relevant and still work behind the scenes. So
Right.
did that always like pop into your mind? I got to stay relevant, and or were you doing other things within the music industry, like writing for people, or just, or did you take up another trade in the music industry, like doing production or anything like
Yeah.
so? Like, so did you do that?
So I went through a phase where I had to learn how to do everything. I learned how to edit on the visual level. I learned how to edit and record. I learned how to produce. Use my because I took piano lessons when I was young. That helped me with production. So that I wanted to learn how the business worked. And took a year out to do everything that it took to learn that, break a record, what all the ingredients is, everything. So I just think that you gotta know, like if it's your thing, you gotta know every aspect of it. So that's really where my mind frame was with that.
Okay, so
Hmm.
now the second excuse me, the second album came out.
Hmm.
Um, And then after that, now, how long did you stay on? Was it Warlock Records?
Oh, you know about that bullshit?
Well, no, well, okay,
Yeah, so yeah.
let's
So
talk about it, bro.
yeah,
Come on.
that was honestly, I want to tap back into that album and
Okay,
take certain things from that record and recreate it because I feel like there was some good stuff on there, but it was just not. It wasn't what it wasn't it like how. what I was trying to tell, I'm going to say what we were trying to make it,
Mhm.
it wasn't coming out right because um, dude wasn't dude wasn't it. But
He didn't see your vision.
right, he was trying to. I don't know, the executive thing, but I'm more so like it's different when when you're the creative, and like it's just always weird when someone that doesn't make music is trying to uh
Tell you how to make music.
yeah, like trying to spearhead the shit.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
It was terrible. It was weird.
Mm.
It was the cringe situation for me back then. There's a couple of records on there that I like, but for the most part, not not what I wanted to the quality of the music, how like certain samples, it just wasn't, it was not it for me.
It was not it.
That shit was not
So
working.
my next question is, because you just did say that you didn't like it, and you say maybe we should have done some things differently.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Masters. So do you own the masters of Candy Rain and say like do you own the masters of So For Real?
No, no, no. We that's the whole thing. Like that's we've learned since then, and I got a bunch. I got a crazy catalog now, and that is my task is to
Mhm.
break these new records and have them be just play right there with Candy Rain. Hopefully they don't stop playing Candy Rain either. Play it all.
Yeah,
Play
play
it.
it all. No,
Hmm.
absolutely. Now, no, you know what? I love So For Real, and but now we got to talk about Jase, the solo artist. So, how is that whole experience for you? You have new music out right now. Shout out to Rob Schwartz. Let me ask you a question. How did you meet Rob Schwartz? Because Rob knows freaking everybody. You see what I'm
Everybody,
saying?
right?
Yeah, he knows everybody. And
It's a
then,
cool guy.
yeah, he texted me, he said, yo, I know Jay's from So For Real. I'm like, "But how the hell you know him? You see what I'm
Cool
saying?
dude. So funny
So
story,
yeah,
right?
go ahead, go ahead.
Funny story. Um, Friend of mine, close friend of mine, who I was doing some business work with, TMG Studios. His name is Manny Mad Dog. Right? He had been mentioning Rob for quite some time, but that's not how I met Rob.
Hmm.
So I like you went to the AC show.
Yep. Hmm.
So I met him there, right?
Okay.
Not even knowing that this is the Rob who um Manny was talking about. So I
Okay.
met him through another partner of mine. Shout out to Mills, um, Stack Paper Entertainment. He visited me in AC and was like, "Yo, come through over across the street. I want you to meet somebody." And I met this beautiful young lady by the name of Melanie, who is Rob's partner.
Yes.
And we met, and shortly after that, she introduced me to Rob. We took a tour through the establishment, and basically went from there.
Yeah. The one thing
Yeah,
about Rob.
Rob is gold. Is a dude. He's a good dude.
Yeah. The one thing about Rob,
Golden.
he reaches out to the veteran artists, and actually puts them in a new space and a new platform. And when he told me that he was working with you, and you actually do have an interview coming up with Rob on the show on 98.5 slash FM, that I'm
Hmm.
definitely gonna check out. So, but like the new music, man, just tell me, your journey as a solo artist, and the new music that are you experimenting with the music, and so like just tell us all what's going on with the new music right now, bro.
So it's sexy. It's sexy as fuck. I've been doing this since 2010, so you can imagine there's a lot of things that you can look up to that would better explain because it's kind of self-explanatory. You got to make your own decisions and like off of hearing it. It's better than me explaining it to you in words, telling you like it's just tasteful. It's my DNA. If you
Got
really wanna, if you really wanna, my explanation of what the music is and how do I explain to you what my DNA is through you know through explaining with words sound. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna leave that up to you guys, but I will also try to tell you that it's has essence of my influences where I'm from, and like I said, my DNA, my thought, my heart. It's all over the place. I can't say I just do R&B. It's a lot of different types of music that I like that I put elements of into my stuff. So yeah, check it out.
What's the new song that's out right now that you're pushing?
I just dropped a single called Rather Be. Uh, It's called Rather Be uh, with shout outs to Rob Schwartz, Mag, and Sony Orchard. And I got my own label, Best Entertainment, BEA Music ENT.
Okay.
Um, yeah.
Now, tell me about your label. When was it formed? And besides yourself, do you have artists that you're grooming right now as we speak?
Well, yeah, always had artists. You know how things go up and down. Um, Process, sometimes takes longer than we would like it to. Um, so some people come, people go. But yeah, I got few artists I want to introduce to the world.
Okay.
Um, if you listen to my projects, um, you'll find, you know, a few, let me see, about a handful of artists that I worked with that I featured on my over few of my projects. So
Okay.
yeah, shout outs to all of them, whether I fuck with them still or not.
Mhm.
Um, um, yeah, it's a lot actually. That's why I'm just sitting there thinking about it. I got a big family in the street.
So, real quick, so how is it going from, because you're still an artist, but owning a record label and grooming artists? Like, so how is that feeling? Because you have so much experience and you have so much knowledge in the music industry. So, like, how does that make you feel that you can actually help somebody else out? Because basically, you're like, well, damn, I didn't get this help when. Not saying that you didn't get the help, because you did, but there were some things that you guys didn't know, but now
Hmm.
you're passing those jewels on to somebody else, another up and coming artist. So, like, how does that make you feel? As a veteran solo artist.
I'm good with it. And like I said, ups and downs, people come and go, in you know, in and out. Pause. Fucking.
Yeah.
I don't really feel no kind of way. I'm the same. I got the same agape. You know that word, agape
Mhm.
love. It's unconditional. You know.
The
Um,
one thing I notice about especially the music industry, they want it fast. and and it's always a process. It's always a process,
Hmm.
and sometimes the process might take a little bit longer, but they still have to keep. They have to be committed to the process. And so, do you think sometimes that might happen to some of the artists that you're trying to groom? Is like they want the process a little bit quicker than
Yeah,
normal,
but that's not. There's the work is still the work. You
right?
know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
So now it's just the internet, and nowadays everybody's a star, but until you realize the work that you got to put in, you know what I'm saying? And things change when you hit that brick wall.
Right.
It's just a learning curve. That's all. And I don't feel no kind of way about it. I just know we all got to go through it, whether we're in a day and age of where shit is fake, or
Mhm.
whether you know whether we're talking about real true talent. It's still work.
Do you think that there ever will be another R&B group like So For Real? I mean, like
Oh,
me
hell, hell,
personally,
hell no,
I don't think so.
hell no, because we like you. I'm that's my fingerprint right there. Like I don't just it's how many loaves of bread, how many different kinds of loaves of bread we got on the shelf out there. You know, it's but it's not gonna be the same. It's definitely not gonna be the same. This is one and one over here.
This is just my opinion. I really don't think that the music industry actually, there are groups out there, but I don't think they're pushing quote unquote singing groups anymore, especially in R&B. I really don't think they're doing that.
We haven't seen
No.
a major splash, but I see some cool things though. I see I see motherfuckers joining up, making groups. Remember they did the Gerald Levert
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
and the you
Gerald
remember
Levert,
that group they
Tyrese.
met,
Yeah.
Tyrese. Remember that type of
Tyrese.
shit?
Yep. Hmm.
I see things like that. I see glimpses of things like that. If I just think people stop. People don't push and put the push behind
Right.
how they want to. What's the name? Was just doing something like that. Had the feel of it. Uh, Ray J and the boys.
Oh yeah. 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 Yeah.
Remember they was doing that.
Mhm. Yep.
So it's still little things going on. But that's what I'm here for. Just bring back, wave the flag, remind you.
And that's what I meant to ask you. Like when you think of Jase Dalrymple,
Hmm.
your music, like
Hmm.
what is the one word that describes your music? And I'm sorry for giving out your last name, but I
No,
just
that's
want
cool.
Strongman.
That's cool. That's public information. Jace for real, Oliver. Yeah. Um, you said the question is what is say it again.
What describes your sound? If you could do one word, what describes your
That's a good
sound?
one. That's a good question. If I could describe it with one word,
Hmm.
shout out to Nas, Illmatic. It's Illmatic. My music is like Sly Stone and Cobra.
Mm, I
No,
like that. I like that.
no, I'm just fucking around. I really wouldn't know how to put it. It's kind of unutterable. I'm kind of spiritual, dude. I it's it's real watery. It's real wavy. Like
Mhm.
it's just the wave. It's something. Music is a universal language, so like it's just different. You know, like I said, it's my DNA. It's my it's fun. It's sexy. It's a lot of words. I can't just put it to one word.
You just can't use one word. No, I feel you. Now, we had the one single out right now. So when can the world expect the whole project out?
Um, probably I'm gonna do singles right now
Okay.
since I'm gonna put these singles out, because I put a lot of music out already, and like they say, all it takes is one, and like the other day I shout outs to Mark Blunts. He convinced me to do this Southern Soul record. You know what
Really?
I'm saying?
Okay.
Yeah. And I got that coming out. Like you can look forward to that. I'm just gonna put out singles, but when you could expect a project maybe by like next year, sometime first quarter.
Okay. So, are you are you going out on the road right now? Are you doing spot dates as a
Campaign
solo artist?
life.
Or are you doing it as a solo artist, or are you doing it for Soul for Real, or both?
Like these they'll always be my brothers and
Mhm.
work is work. So yeah, I'm doing me right now, but I'm also doing my brothers. What makes sense just makes sense.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Now, my last question is because it's always a debate. Everybody says, "Oh, top five, you know, MCs, top five this, top five that." I want you to name your personal top five groups of all time.
Mm. Um, who's that? H Town, that's one of them.
Mm.
Vino was crazy. Intro was one of them.
Oh, but real quick,
Guy
bro.
Guy was
Not to cut you off.
mm,
That intro album was super
crazy,
crazy. That
crazy.
album was super crazy, bro.
Kenny Green was a monster.
Yes, he
Rest in
was.
peace. Um, man, of all time.
Oh, you said H Town, you said intro, and you said guy, right?
I said Guy's one of them. I can't. How many did you say?
Five.
Shit. New Edition was crazy.
Okay.
Um, uh, man, I can't just give you. There's so many.
Mm.
Um, um, man, there's so many. I just got a the floodgates open up. Why you do that to me, man? Um,
It's a lot of great
I
groups out there, man.
yeah. Um, what I owe you two more?
No, you only one more because you said H Town, which was that's a dark horse. That's a sleeper. They were good to H Town.
Yo, after seven, bro.
There you go. That's
Oh
five.
my gosh, bro.
So you said
Them guys is crazy.
H Town intro, guy, new edition, and after seven.
Man, there's so many more though,
That's
too.
that's
That's
that's actually
crazy.
a pretty damn group right there.
Yeah, it's a cool lineup. I feel like I'm missing some now. But yeah, yeah, yeah.
Nah, that's
Um,
crazy though. But any last words to artists that are trying to get into this business? Well, what would your advice be to the artist right now that's listening to this interview?
um, just persistence seldom fails. Know what you're doing, know what you're getting into. Stay positive, have fun with this shit, and yeah, just don't stop. Mm.
That's what's up. How can people get in contact with you? How can people follow you? So give out all your social media handles and where if any artists want to collab or might try to want to work with you or any producers because I know
Absolutely.
real quick before you give out all that, how much more easier is it to work with producers now because you don't have to be in the same studio with them. They could just send you their production. So like as an artist, how is that more convenient for you to work with producers now? Because you could work with a producer from Denmark, which will be hot as
Right.
shit. You see what I'm
So
saying?
Nowadays, because of certain reasons, I kind of want to stick to, I'm starting to do like I work with a project with the one producer instead of
Okay.
having multiple producers on, you know, at the same project.
Mm.
That's how I kind of like to do it nowadays. But it wasn't always like that. But yeah, yeah, I'd rather stick to that one producer.
Who's your all-time favorite producer?
Ooh, oh man, that's a crazy one too. Why you doing this to me? Um, um, I always wanted to work with Rodney. Always wanted to work. It's a lot of people I actually wanted to work with. Um, I always wanted to work with and get it. Well, I want to get some beats from Pete Rock.
Mm.
Um, uh, there's so many more too. These questions. I'm gonna be ready next time. You're gonna make me write down all a
Well,
bunch of stuff for
well,
the future because this is a bunch of
Rodney.
influences that I have.
Well, Rodney is from Jersey, and Rodney
Word.
knows Rob. Rodney knows Rob. You know that, right? They're right around the
That's
corner
what's
from
up.
each other. Literally, Rodney Jurgens is really like 20 minutes away from me.
Yeah, he's dope.
So,
Um,
you might need to talk to Rob about that.
right, right. There's some new cats that
Oh yeah.
um slipped my mind right now that I was just having a conversation about this the other day, but those names kind of leave you. You know how that shit go.
Yeah, yeah, no doubt. So, how can people get in contact with you? How can people go back and listen to your music? Is it on Spotify? Is it on, the streaming services right now? So give it all that information for the audience, brother.
You can find me under Jace for real everywhere. At whatever platform you listen on. You can contact me on any social media at Jase for real, Jase number four REL right there. And yeah, hit my email up. And you can get all that information from my Instagram or my Facebook or all of the other platforms.
Do you have any new videos out?
Yeah, just dropped not too long ago. I just put out Money's God. I'm about to just shoot a video for the Southern Soul joint that I was telling you about. I'm about to shoot a video for this new one. I got a bunch of videos out um, uh, that you could check out under Jace for Real. Just type in Jace for Real on YouTube or Google, and yeah, bing.
I want to say thank you for coming on, man, because like I said before, maybe like 30 years ago, I saw you guys at Madison Square Garden. You guys were
No
teenagers.
doubt.
And,
Thanks
that
for
was
having
an
me, bro.
oh yeah, no question. We're gonna have you back on. And, coming full circle 30 years later, I'm in Atlantic City with my wife, and when So For Real comes on, we're standing up, we're dancing like we're still young.
Hmm.
And,
It's a
we've been
blessing.
riding, and to be honest, and it wasn't just us, it was the whole stadium that, they just love you guys' music and what you guys brought to the table in this music industry. And I'm gonna tell you something else too, man. You had like a lot of street dudes doing that two step. You know that, right? And that y'all had a lot of cats doing that two step, man. When that
Yo,
song came on, we was doing that two step, brother.
yo, it's. I've been a lot of places, and I could say I'm at home because the way I'm from in certain places,
Hmm.
and yeah, the love don't change, and I appreciate that, and I just try to reciprocate that. And like we said before, like you could dress us up, but you can't take it out. You can't take it out of us. You know what I'm saying? Where we from?
That's what's up. Hey,
You can,
I want to play a video of yours at the end of this interview. So what video do you want me to play?
You can play Money is God. I think
Money is God.
Money is God is one of those my later releases that I think sheds light on where my influences come from. You know, I was playing around with an old sound. I was impressed by the year that that record came out. I wanted to just shed light on the pro the production, the producers of it, the essentials and Lee Fields. Um, and I used their record and put my own twist, put my own words to it. You know what I'm saying? I used this the sound and I called it Money is God. Um, yeah, and go check it out.
And that's what's up. So what we're gonna do right now, we're gonna end the interview and we're gonna play "Money Is God" by my man Jase. And look, man, I want to thank you for coming on. And
Thank
I
you, man.
can't wait.
Thank you.
And to be honest, you down with Rob now, so you'll probably be in Atlantic City a lot. So I
Yep,
I just want to personally come up and shake your hand, man, because it's
no
an
doubt.
honor just talking to you, and it's an honor and I'm privileged to do interviews with great artists like yourself because,
Appreciate it, brother.
like I said, man, like you were the soundtrack of my youth when I was while I
Appreciate
was
it,
a
man.
young adult. You see what I'm saying? And
And that's
you
why
know,
I still do. That's why I still do this shit, man. I appreciate that.
and when I'm not saying when it wasn't cool, but you guys made it cool just to sing along and and just him the melodies, man. And when them songs came on, well, I'm like I said, I'm showing my age. When them songs came on in the club, we was on that floor, man, trying to trying to dance with something. You see what I'm saying? So I want to thank
Hmm.
you for everything that you've done and all your contributions within the music industry.
Thank you very much, my brother. I appreciate the love. Much love and respect back.
No doubt.
Yeah,
So what we're gonna
hopefully these new records keep y'all dancing the same way.
well, my knees. I'm gonna try to dance, but my knees. My knees ain't gonna have that, man. But I'll be bobbing my head. I'll be pause, pause, pause. Pause. I'll be,
Right, right.
yeah, you see what I'm saying. But
Yeah.
but no,
I'll be rocking out,
yeah, yeah.
rocking out, rocking
Hey,
out.
look, man, I really appreciate you coming on, man, and shedding some light
Thank you for
on
having me,
your
buddy.
journey for in this music industry. And what we're gonna do right now, we're gonna end the show with your video. And thank you again, my brother.
Money is God.
Sabi Radio signing out. That's it. I'll talk to you guys next week. Somebody watching. Oh, Johnny B. Someone watching. Doing my dance. And they rocking. Eat it. Uh, Come on. And I'm watching the bag. Watch you counting.
It's all there, right?
She sure know how to shake that thing. Shake it fast now. She pulled up with the diamonds on her neck, McLaren in her lap. Bodies on me, know that gangsta lean. I'm so for real. Yeah. Come on, girl. Shake it. Come on. Get it. Do it. Come on. And my flow so bad. Why the DJ's watching? I do my money dance. Do it. Yeah. While I'm counting. She put up to the side and let the bag drop. 10 the penthouse to a dress spot. Keep it with me, she my escort. And you don't really want these things to export.